I decide to do this, or try to do this, and Lee Sin rocks up. I do have Smite, by the way, so it's pretty chill. We get this. Galio wards. All very, very standard stuff here, right? But I kind of want to pressure this Lee Sin more. If he ever touches blue buff, I'm going to kill him. Don't really know why my mid laner has based as well when their Aesol was half HP, but she has. Anyway, clear this ward. And we see Lee Sin here. Okay, so remember this ward I put down when I was sitting in this brush? This ward is letting me know that Lee Sin is going topside, and we can see that Lee Sin is pinging here. So, what do? What would you guys do here? Would you base and run like this? If you base, though, what are you getting? If you base, you're probably missing crab anyway. You're going to get there too late, especially if he has smite, and that's a level 1 crab, remember. We haven't touched this top crab, nor is he. So if you recall here and rerun topside, we're just protecting our wolves and gromp that we can probably protect anyway just by going like this. So basically, like how I think about the minimap, right? And if I just do this on the caps, Krugs and gromp, Raptors wolves, Krugs gromp, right? These 4 lines, if you can remember these 4 lines, you're going to become just like a much better jungler, right? Because at any given point, there's a very good chance that both junglers are going to be on one of these lines farming their camps. Now, if you are ahead of the enemy jungler, so let's just say that the red side jungler was pathing down like this, right? And let's just say that he's on his gromp. And the enemy jungler, the blue side jungler, had just finished his walls. And you know this for a fact. That means that by the time you are bot side, even before you do these camps, if the enemy jungler is running out of base to his gromp, and you're already down here, you've got 3v2s. You've got a dragon if you can do it, of course. You've got invading his bot side if it's up. If you can picture where the enemy jungler is and what line they are on, you can exploit that, right? So this isn't exactly the same thing, right? It's a little bit different here, but I just wanted to talk to you guys like how my brain sees the minimap in that respect. But it's similar here because I just know that if I spend too much time doing Krugs and red, that Lee Sin has time to do Wolves Gromp, Gromp Crap, whatever it is, right? So I know here it's just red buff, and then we just run straight to my top side. Also keep in mind that he has to run all the way here, bro, to do my Gromp. All the way here to do Wolves. I'm running here to red, and I've got my Q as well, right? So we do this quite quick, and then I'm transitioning almost like a little pit stop into here. So if he's doing one of my camps here, I'm going to catch him. And if he does the top crab, he does the top crab, whatever. But at least I'm protecting my top side. So this is similar to me recalling, right? Back here, we even talked about it. Like, maybe I could recall and run here. But I'm going to get here at a very similar time just by running here through my red buff. And I don't need to recall for anything. Like, I've got a Dirk and Longsword, yeah? So instead of recalling there and being here with 21 CS, I've just stayed on the minimap, got here at the same time with 25 CS and a red buff, right? Which is clearly better. Let's see what happens. So you see me ping on the way again. Look at the minimap for me. I'm pinging on the way to Wolves and Gromp. I'm communicating to my team that I might come in contact with the enemy jungler. Don't queue here. I actually do Wolves here, which is interesting because I think I even say this. I actually remember. I think I say when I was playing this game, he might be on my Gromp. And I remember here, like, killing him. For some reason, my brain is, like, triggering memories now that I can remember killing this guy, I think, up here, maybe. So, as soon as I finish Wolves, I should honestly probably check Gromp instead of doing Wolves. Because of what I said earlier, right? I should not actually do Wolves here. I should just run the Gromp. Thankfully, I get lucky. This guy did the crab. So, what he should have done is Gromp and then he comes back to crab. This Gromp should not be here. Like, he should be now, maybe even hitting the crab, right? So, a little bit of a misplay by me, but kind of like the thinking is correct, yeah? I also know this guy didn't see me because he didn't move off the Gromp, right? So, we're going to backstab him. Ignite him as well, pretty standard stuff. Don't want to hit that because he might have some sort of tick damage on it. And we end up getting the Gromp as well, right? And this guy's in a very, very big hole. So how do we go from this? Lots of people will ask me, how do you go from this early game, which you guys might have? I'm sure you will if you watch my stuff. But you guys might struggle going from this to going to 17-0, to winning a game. So I know this Lee Sin, right, is dead for a few more seconds. It's a little bit annoying, though, because its Aesol has Prio, and I think his top laner is winning as well, right? Like, Gwen has already killed Aurelia, so I'm not really too keen to stay on this side of the map for that long. If I can do 3 grubs here, though, because the enemy champions are telling me, you can do 3 grubs, Shaco, I might do 3 grubs. The other option here is I do 1 or 2 of them, and I think about transitioning down here to Raptors. This Lee Sin, think about it for me. The Lee Sin, who knows that I just killed him over here, might be thinking, look, this Shaco is going to do 1, 2, maybe even 3 grubs. So I'm just going to run straight here. You see me actually walk away here just because I want to base and buy, because we have pickaxe, right? It does make a difference here in terms of my damage. So I've got a pickaxe. That's a difference. That's a big enough difference to justify basing. And if we think about it, I can run straight to my raptors here, right, to protect them. I could. It's similar to what we talked about before. So these two situations, remember how I ran from here because we invaded Lee Sin's Gromp and I took the Gromp at level 4 and he ran like this, right? That's what we're talking about. And instead of basing and then just meeting him here, I decided to stay on the map. Why? Because basing does nothing. I'm not going to base and buy anything, right? And on top of that, what also makes it very easy to stay on the map there is I've got my red buff and camps to farm if I want to, Krugs included. Here, what am I going to farm? Like this extra Gromp? Or Grub, sorry? Yes, I could get 3 Grubs here, but it's giving Lee Sin time to take my Raptors, maybe even Dragon. And in my brain, I'm thinking this Grub, if he does that, is never going anywhere. So don't just think that you're trading resources here on the minimap. I'm thinking to myself, if he gets this Grub, how's he going to do that? Is he really going to run a Grub here on this map state with Prior Mid, Prior Top? For me, anyway. Is he just going to throw a random Q out and coin flip it? Like, it just doesn't make sense in my head. And if he does do that, I'm really happy. If he decides to run here and he just luckily gets this last Grub, and as I'm running out of base, it says Lee Sin has killed the Grubs, I'm super happy. I just do this and take his camps. I might even think, if he's done that, then I'm just going to move to his red buff and kill him. I've also got a really nice ward here. Don't know who put that down, but well played. Thank you. So if he does Grubs, it means that he's not doing his camps, right? And mine. If he does do the Grub, it's a big time investment for him. Not really, actually. But he's got to run back around to his camps and stuff, and it actually lets me potentially kill him on his camps, right? That's what I'm thinking. You see my Lysandra as well. I pinged on the way at 6:43. Let's go back. 6:43, I am pinging on the way to Raptors. That's when I queue away from the Grubs. Unfortunately, my base gets stopped here because running out of base here, I'm looking to see who's around. So what's happening bot lane? What's happening mid lane? Mid lane full HP, their bot lane's full HP as well. And I'm thinking to myself, is Lee Sin on drag then? So if Lee Sin isn't on my Raptors here, what's the next best thing he could have done? Well, if he was giving up 2 Grubs, oh, it's probably drag. So is he ganking bot? Is he doing drag? That's what I'm thinking, right? We'll see what we do here as well. I don't actually need to do Krugs here either, by the way, but we'll see what happens. I might hit 6 as well, yeah. So already here, I'm thinking like this Lee Sin might be on drag. So I'm going to put a ward down, and he also might still be bot side, right? So if he is bot side ganking, I am here. And this is one of the most important messages, I think, for junglers to understand. And this Shaco player happened to play against Gryffinn. And Gryffinn was 3-0 and jungled perfectly. Like, I mean perfectly, and that's, you know, I'm saying it, and I've like critiqued his jungling before. He played perfectly until a certain point. And this concept here is very, very, well, it's just essential. If you're going to win games quick, and it will happen so much in Challenger, like, it's so easy to win games in that elo because people understand what's going on and they respond and they react. The concept is basically just matching. And I've already shouted out Coach Leo before, the jungle gap person. When you are ahead or stronger than the enemy jungler, you want to match them. So the fact that Lee Sin can gank this bot lane is why I decided to do Krugs here. In another game, I might decide to run at Grubs after Raptors. Like, I've taken away Raptors, that's the most accessible bot side camp, or red buff side camp, because there's obviously one here. So this is the most accessible red buff side camp, right, for both sides in the minimap. It's so easy just to run in and take Raptors. We've all done it before. So because I take Raptors away, if Lee Sin was to ever run in here and he's like, oh, Raptors aren't here, that means Shaco's probably cleared his whole side, then they won't even bother checking your Krugs. So if you take Raptors, all of a sudden the jungler's thought process will be, all these are gone. So I'm not even going to bother checking his Krugs. So you can also just like leave Krugs there. But that's only if you want to match the enemy jungler, or if my bot lane already dies here. Let's just say that Lee Sin actually ganks bot lane, or my bot lane just runs through trying to dive for no reason. Let's just say they full run it down. And I'm like, wow, everyone is still full HP. Lee Sin just got like 2 assists. That really sucks. If I was to do Krugs after that, so picture that for me. My bot lane is dead, and their bot lane and jungler are full HP. If I decide after Raptors to click down to Krugs, I am trolling, bro. The other option I have is to run in here and set up in case Lee Sin runs through and does drag. Because I am strong. Maybe I can one-shot him. I'm level 6. Maybe we can just kill him. He's still level 5, right? That's the other option I have, but again, I need to know that for a fact. So if I did Krugs in that situation, I'm saying, look, you guys just, you know, killed my bot lane that's inting, and you get dragon, I'm going to get Krugs. Doesn't work. You're not trading resources there that are substantial enough, right? They got 2 kills, 600 gold. They got Dragon as well, which is probably more worth than Krugs. And you got Krugs. This needs to be Grubs. This needs to be Lee Sin's top side. This needs to be a top dive, maybe even killing mid lane if it's doable, right? That's substantial. That's an actual trade, right? Not doing your camps. So after Raptors, if that went down, straight here into these positions. Not, let's do Krugs. Way too passive in an active environment. Here, can you see how the environment is quite passive? Lee Sin's not acting. There's no real actions going on. There's not much doing here. It's just kind of chilling and farming, right? So because of that, we can do almost the same. But when the map gets active and champions get active and people start dying, that's when you need to think quickly and to almost accelerate that pathing. Because in a normal game here, if nothing happens, right? If nothing happens, I'm going to go Raptors, Krugs, and back maybe like this, right? But if it gets active while I'm doing Raptors or I've just finished them, if the map gets active, I'm either just going to run straight there, wherever that action is, or if I can't get there in time, I'm going to accelerate and bring forward these moves. If I was to go to Krugs, it's too long. 20 seconds is too long here. Lee Sin might even rotate up, right, and stop me from invading his top side by that time. So when the map gets active, that's when you accelerate your pathing and you skip camps. This is what happens, and if I do put this on YouTube, I probably will, to be honest, because I need to do more content. If I do put this on YouTube, I will put the clip that I'm talking about with me commentating over it on Gryffinn's game against that Shaco player. Because, like, him staying here, I think is troll. Because, like, him taking Gromp isn't going to do anything in the game, right? How much gold does he have? Yeah, I think like if he bases here, it's so good for him. Because he covers 2 camps. If Shaco is like doing grubs, then he can always run here, right? And contest him. But yeah, him doing Gromp here like doesn't do anything to the game. Like I would just recall there and just run the grubs. Because he's got this. But I actually think he can get to grubs. Especially when the Shaq's like diving top and stuff. But him doing Gromp here is a mistake for sure. Like this is just way too slow here. Doesn't do anything. Like literally doesn't do anything. Yeah, and he eventually recalls, right? So he could have been here like earlier. Maybe he can run in here or something because he's so fed. Here as well, I think he should just go straight bot. I think doing his top camps is bad. Shaco's on a base, right? So you don't really care about this. Also, you have Blitzcrank here. But my brain is telling me Shaco has jungle item when you see him dive top. And he's obviously done 1 grub because there's 2 left. So the Shaco's on a base here, right? So because he has to base, then if he doesn't, he's just going to lose every fight. So because Shaco's got a base, there's no way he's losing anything on the map here. But the Shaq's obviously going to run bot side. Because he started red buff, and he definitely would have taken that. Or he's going to take it out of base, and then he'll eventually go bot as well. So this Lee here, if he goes like Raptors red, his Raptors red, and then he runs into Shaco's blue buff, game's like so good for him. Even though Shaq's level 6, like I think blue team just wins. And Lee is really fed. So if he just goes like that, into this, 10 times better, bro. Doing his Gromp here is really slow. Like this, it's just way too slow, bro. It should just be Raptors red, and then you just go like this. Like, he should be here. You know what I mean? Like, he should have just queued over. Now he's running here. Maybe he even kills this person after Raptors. You never know. See this? See how, like, Shaco's active here? So he should know that Shaq's going to be active here, but unfortunately he's caught farming Gromp and walls. So Shaq's clearly going to go like this, and he's too busy doing this. He should be, like, attacking this area. You know what I mean? Like, when I watch this is why I've gone back and asked, like, why the fuck, where's Lee here? That's why I'm surprised. If I'm Shaco here and the Lee Sin's not here, bro, like, it's surprising to me. And now he does it when his Blitzcrank's in base and his Eagz is running out of base with no TP. So this should have happened when this guy was 1-0. Instead, he's 3-0 now, and the map has changed to the point his champs aren't on the map. When he does grubs back here, his bot lane's active. Like, Ziggs is in lane. Look at it. Look how active his champs are. But he's deciding to go to Gromp and Wolves when enemy jungler's here and you win. This is really slow. Really, really slow. You could even argue like this, if Shaco ends up carrying, this is like pivotal. There's the Eagz. Whatever. And yeah, there you go. So that will probably be GG. Shaq getting another kill here. Not GG, but yeah. Like, that's just pivotal to the game, bro. Like, him farming Gromp and walls is so slow. This should have happened when Shaq was 1-0, sorry. I know he hasn't spent gold after being 3-0, but that's just, like, so slow. Hopefully all that makes sense. Anyway, we do Raptors, and then we do Krugs. Passive means we can be a little bit passive. Just remember as well, I'm not saying you always do this. If I knew I could kill the Lee Sin somewhere, I would do it, right? But here, I know he's maybe bot side, so I'm just covering him. And then I might just run it as red buff here. So if I don't see him do anything bot, I'm probably just going to run it as red buff. And honestly here, like, me being bot side is really troll. I don't really know why I'm doing this. I'm also doing dragon here, which is really bad. I can't, bro, I go 17-0 and look at me. So I'm kind of surprised. Bro, what a player this Shaco is, what a coach. But to me anyway, I'm really surprised that I don't do it because it's me telling it. Because this just makes sense to me. Like, if Lee Sin doesn't do anything bot, me just running up here is just so good and just GG's the game. Because if Lee Sin is doing this, that's pretty troll. And also, like, having a ward here is really good. So if we did not have a ward here, I would honestly probably do what I'm doing here. Just hover bot lane. Because there's a very good chance Lee Sin hits 6 off these camps, right? Because of catch-up experience and all that rubbish. So there's a very good chance Lee Sin hits level 6 here and ganks bot lane. Right. The reason he doesn't, though, I know this from his pings, because when you watch a replay, you can see both teams' pings. They have a ward here, or did, I'm pretty sure, before, yeah. So because this guy sees me bot side, kind of unfortunate they have a ward here, but because this guy sees me bot side, there's a good chance he doesn't actually do anything because they have a ward. But if they don't have a ward here, look where he is. Look where my bot lane is. In another game, he is going to act there, and my movement here would be correct. I also can't stress like how important wards like these are, because when you have this here, it gives you time to react. So if I was running like this, right, to Grubs or to his top side, and I see him here, I've got all the time in the world to react to that. If they don't have wards, it does make it hard, because I don't want my bot lane to get double killed, and that is probably what's going to happen, and they're doing well, right? So if that was the case, it's funny how that actually just changes so much. I've just kind of thought about that. But if that was not warded, I would actually stay bot here. And I might put a box here, and then I might think about running over here or maybe doing dragon. I still don't think dragon is the worst. Like, him getting a grub, even crab, whatever. Like, my lead is still really secure here. But me just saying, look, you're not going to double kill my bot lane, that is stopping them from getting 600 gold. And I'm still getting a drag for it. Like, I've already got 2 grubs, and I'm getting a drag. You're getting a grub and a crab, because both of them are in the middle, right? We still have to, like, put crabs in the mix too. So it's still good for me. But that ward there gives me so much assurance that my bot lane is chilling. That's kind of the big reason why I should just definitely run to top here, because my bot lane should be chilling. But we do drag, and a 5 bot happens. The Jhin is 1 HP. So we do this, we ult. We don't kill Galio, and here I'm just going to recall, right? Pretty standard stuff. Recall, and we run to top side. You can see me pinging again. I think that I might come into contact with the enemy jungler, so I'm going to ping to be careful on my blue buff. Where do I go out of base? To my blue buff. You also see me pinging here. And Lee Sin ends up ganking mid, and let's see what happens, because I told Lissandra, look, Lee Sin might be there. There he is. Thankfully here, I look at Lee Sin and I press tab. I can remember that this guy's farm is not 60 or 62 or whatever. So I don't think this guy's done my top counts. He also doesn't have blue buff. It's just a red buff here, right? We saw. So I'm thinking, wow, he's level 6? Like, still level 6? I guess he was like 1 or 2 levels behind before, but I'm surprised he doesn't have my blue buff and maybe even my top side here. So when I run here, I'm actually really, really happy. See me running out of base with Ghostblade, 2 extra long swords, like I'm just so fed. And I will one-shot anyone. I mean, I think I would one-shot this person even with just a jungle item, but you get my point. From full HP I'm talking about. One of the most, I swear I've said that so much in this video, but if you guys don't know the future of the enemy champions, especially when you're playing a champion like Shaco, right, where you're hitting people out of stealth and you're trying to rendezvous your two like, you know, movement, you're just not going to do anything on this game. So the enemy champions here are always communicating to you throughout a game. The Gwen here is saying to me, I'm going to clear this wave, otherwise I would have just recalled already. So she's clearly going to clear this wave. It's also indicative of the fact that she's probably not thinking about me. Wow, I just saw the Shaco get dragon. He's probably still bot side. Wow, I just saw the Shaco kill my bot lane. He's probably still bot side. And all of a sudden, I've recalled, and I've actually got here very quick. I look at this Gwen. Can you guys think of another reason why she might stay here? So the wave is obviously one thing. Okay. So if I go back 15 seconds, Gwen kills my Aurelia. She kills that wave. There's also another wave here, though, very, very quickly. Look where it is in terms of the tower. Now, if you're the Gwen here, you look at your wave. That is the same as this. It's symmetrical, right, in terms of the minion waves. This minion wave here is the same as that minion wave. So after laners get kills, or doesn't even matter if they get kills, right? But they're probably going to stay in lane if the next wave is really, really close to being in lane, because it's just free gold, especially when they kill someone. So that she's got free reign in top lane here. So what is the likelihood of her staying? Well, I think it's so high. I want you guys to think of another reason why she might stay after this wave. For the next wave, well, that's ages away, right? That's like 20 seconds away. So the next wave is way too far away. Like, Aurelia will be back as well, and she's risking dying. But she is going to risk dying for something else here, which is the tower plate. So if this tower plate was full HP, I don't think she would go for it. But because it's so close to giving her a free, what is it, 160 gold now, or 120? Whatever the value is, doesn't matter. It's decent gold, right, for just hitting it like twice. So I know that I don't even do my camps, and we just run in and kill her. Happy Dark player on Aurelia was pinging me off. Don't know why. Maybe she's win trading, which would explain a lot. But anyway. Lee Sin shows mid and dies. Not sure what that guy is doing. That has nothing to do with me, though. We just now take that with us. So the Lee Sin is now 0-3 and he's dead still. Which is great for me because dying is not just about giving someone 300 gold. It's about giving the enemy jungler time to farm and be ahead of you in terms of tempo. So let's just say all of Lee Sin's camps are up. Remember those lines. Krugs to Gromp. Red buff to blue buff. Raptors walls. Raptors walls. Red, blue. Krugs Gromp. If he decides to do this out of base, I'm going to be here. Diving his bot lane. You see that? Two Raptors. There's Lee Sin. I try to get onto this guy because I'm super fed and do. End up killing him. I'm not really going to talk about like mechanics here. It's just like, you know, where I am and stuff. Jhin ults. We evade it. We do this. Can't really take his bot side because he's already alive, right? So I press tab here. Can I take his bot camps? Can I, you know, dive the Galio? I'm way too low. It's too far away and Lee Sin's running out of base. So what do you guys think I'm going to do here? Well, I think I'm going to do red buff into Krugs and probably recall. This person, I look at this. Can I save her? She's probably dead, but guess who I do have? I've got someone TPing in, and also Galio's very close to me. So we Ghost Blade in, we kill the Galio. They run out a little bit, and we E him, and we get the kill. Save your E, of course. There's a TP here, which we burn as well, which is great. And I'm just going to recall here and run to Grubs. Again, this is just tempo, right? Tempo is recalling. I am recalling here and trying to match the weaker enemy jungler, and I have ult. I am recalling here because if I do Krugs, remember I'm giving Lee Sin time to take Grubs, and also Gromp and Wolves if they spawn. No, bro. I'm stronger. I'm going to match you. Wherever you are, I'm either going to recall and be there, or run through my camps and do as many as I can and be there just like I did at level 3, 4, and I killed him on my Gromp, right? So I'm going to be there. I'm going to match you either by staying on the map because there's no point in basing. I'm not buying anything. Or I'm going to recall and be there. You see me pinging as well, and look where my Sivir is. She doesn't respond, which really, really tilts me. And, you know, we would have killed him here, obviously, if Sivir just moved, but it's an AD carry and low elos, so it's whatever. But you can see how this is the right move. After I get this Lee Sin to like 1 HP, I'm thinking to myself, wow, this guy might have his Raptors up, but his Raptors are gone here on the ward. If we didn't have this warded, though, I might think, wow, he's gone straight for Grubs. He might have actually just like bypassed, skipped his Raptors. So he's got Raptors, maybe he's got Krugs. So after I chunk him here, I really want to see how I click back. So, oh, he's going to think I'm running into my jungle. But what I'm actually thinking about is this or this. Whatever camp is up, right? So you see me here, run down. And unfortunately, he hits this thing here. Maybe in another game, he goes to his Krugs and I kill him there. If he did that, by the way, like went to his Krugs and he's not here, after doing his Krugs, I'd probably recall and run drag. Because again, there's no way this person is doing drag. So it looks really inefficient. Wow, I've just gone to his Krugs and that's it in this life. I didn't kill him here. I've got no gold on this life. All I got was his Krugs. But it just goes back to, this is giving up too much. Potentially that. It's giving up way too much. I'm going to match him. Wherever he is, I am going to be there. Like a bad rash. I base here if I have gold. I think I need one more camp, though, for Cyclo Sword. I think I need 963. So if I had gold here for Cyclo Sword, I would even consider recalling here. But recalling is bad here, and I want you guys to think why. We've talked about time, right? We've talked about time a lot. Think about where the enemy team is. Look above the minimap for me. What did they just do? And obviously, Lee Sin is going to be part of that. They've done Dragon, right? If I was to recall here for Cyclo Sword, me recalling is the same as Lee Sin recalling. Me then running to Rift Herald, right, which is really the only thing here we care about. This is a very easy map to read. So where do we really want to play here? What do you guys think? Do we care about both sides of the map? Have a look. Right, so I'll tell you what my eyes are doing. I look at this kind of area here. Don't even know what that icon is there. It's like a clock on Epic Pen. But I look at this here. 1 tower in mid lane. 1 tower top lane, and this has gone. 1 objective in river. Maybe 2 if you want to include the crab, which I like to do. Everything is topside. The most accessible tower here is what? This. Because it's isolated. The reason why this tower is the easiest kind of like tower to get in this map, when this one is gone, is because you can play behind it. If you look at mid lane, there's no space, and it's very easy to concentrate your champions mid to defend the tower, right? It can take quite a long time. Also, when you're versing ranged champions and they send the mid lane, like an AD carry, for instance, they have insane wave clear, right? So very difficult just like run through. Even if the tower's on this HP, the only way you really break this is with Rift Herald. But top lane, most champions are going to be melee. And if you can get here with your support and 3v1 them under tower, they just have to run off, and you can even like kill them behind in between the towers. There's more space, right? And less wave clear. So that's why you start out, and then you come back in, hopefully with Rift Herald at this point. It's actually a very standard game, this. Or your quintessential, you know, kind of like late game macro here. So even if I had Cyclo Sword here, backing is bad. Because, so basically I just described like the macro and where we want to play. And then it's like, how quickly do we want to do it? How quickly do I want to do this? Well, I think it's now. Why do I think it's now? Think about it. Why would it not be in 20 seconds? I said before, if I recall, Lee Sin might be recalling. So we're on the same path. If I stay on the map here and run straight at Rift Herald with all the items that I have, and my Civ is out of base kind of strong, and my Hui is full HP and stuff, everyone is active here. Active. You've got to be able to assess the activity of the minimap, which basically means your champions and theirs. When you have active champions who are fresh, right? If they were passive, they're 1 HP and they're clearing a wave under tower, they're going to recall. You need to know that for the next 45 seconds, that player is not there. Here, I've got a team that's here for the next 30, 45 seconds, you know, indefinitely, right? The Lee Sin, I know, because he just has an Eclipse here. We saw him on Vision. Look at the gold I spent compared to him. Look at the rest of my team's gold that's been spent compared to this guy. Also, their AD carry has not spent. They don't even have an item. So in terms of activity here, we are way more active. So if I decide to farm my camps, if Wolves were up, if Gromp was up, if Blue Buff was up, even doing that crab first is bad. And before I do the crab, I should be looking here to make use of the activity I have and do a Rift Herald. Go into their topside jungle. Kill the enemy top laner and 3v1 them with my support, who will hopefully move with me here. Very important concept as well. And you should ping your support to do that. But let's just see what happens. Hopefully all that makes sense. Active map, we be active. We do not farm our camps. Thankfully, because we have a ward here, right? We know Lee Sin's bot. And that's another option he had. Like, after Dragon, he can just do his bot camp. So if this wasn't warded, I'd still be thinking, you know, this guy is still going to be late. So he's either going to, you know, do these camps, or he's going to recall. And then he's eventually going to run here. Whether it's in 25 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds after clearing his camps, I still have a little bit of a window here to force something. So by the time he even gets to his red buff, Rift Herald's gone. By the time he even gets to his red buff, if I want to start here on his topside jungle, 2 camps are gone. And he's like, oh, wow, this Shaco is quick. Like, that's what it will feel like. Don't want to toot my own horn, but the number of junglers I've played against who know that it's me, who will come into my chat and say, like, wow, that was kind of different to versing someone else, is because of that. Like, that's the big difference. If you can see the minimap, and like I said before, in terms of these lines, this one here, what I'm talking about is this. I am here, while Lee Sin could be over here, or down here. Look at that space I've got, bro. That looks so mathematical, and I don't really think about it in terms of all of that, but It's kind of the same thing, right? I know he's either locked in bot side for a little bit, or he's just locked into running at a base. I'm this active. Like, I've just done my raptors here. Look how close to the middle of the map I am. He's ages away from being where I want to be. So we either kill top, invade, or do Rift Herald. Just force something here. Be active on an active map, on an active team. Oh, I've actually done the crab, bro. I've actually done this crab. Honestly, I should just run straight top and kill the Gwen. I don't know what I'm doing, but eventually I do. It's just because I don't take any time, really, to do this. Wow, look at my champion. Okay, I spend like 10 seconds doing crab, but I still think because there is a wave here, I kill the Gwen. Unfortunately, she just runs off, though, but yeah. So I should definitely just do, like, Rift Herald before then. Wow, I'm actually finding mistakes in my own gameplay, but that's good. That's good. But you can see how... I don't want to say, like, that's a big mistake. It's just a little kind of mistake. Like, I should have just ran top straight away. Even if it's warded, like, we might be able to kill her. Aurelia has ultimate and might be able to start the fight right before I get there. But the main point, again, here is that you have an awareness of timing, especially when you think about the enemy jungler, in terms of lines on the minimap. And if you can start something and even do it before they even have a chance to think about it. And yeah, maybe even a better option there is to run to Lee Sin's top side. They also take this, by the way. So you can see here, I can't believe I go 17-0. I think I'm the biggest troll in the world. You can still see here, like, how important that was. The 10 seconds just to do crab, right? It's actually pretty bad, like, looking back at this. It's still not so bad here in this situation, because if we fight, we should definitely win. I'm so fed. My team is doing kind of okay. But just the fact that I'm so fed here, like, people are probably going to die, right? So it's almost like, you know, even if they contest the Baron, the Rift Herald, the Soul Point, we're just going to ace them and end the game anyway. This is like the same kind of concept. So, well, not really a concept. It's just the outcome. It's just a byproduct. It's just an outcome of you pushing the pace and being active in an active environment. Lots of junglers here, if their top side was up, I guarantee you would be finishing blue buff right now. Wolves Gromp after the Raptors into blue, and all of a sudden you've allowed Lee Sin to get to this position and get vision in river. Be first. But anyway, yeah, bit of a fight, and I'm pretty sure we do well. Hazol comes in, we kill Galio, we kill this person, and this is just a byproduct. I don't care about, like, the actual mechanics here. It's pretty simple, right? Like, just kill the person who's jumping onto you. I don't know if you can kill their AD carry, then do it, but I don't really care too much about Jhin here. So I really care about this person. Also, pretty important. When you're playing Shaco, don't just think, wow, I've got to queue in and use my invis the whole game to kill people in the backline. It's like, no. Just kill the most important person or try to. So if it's a Garen top who's 7-0 jumping onto your AD carry, try kill him. No one cares about you killing the Jhin here. It's not going to change the game. I'm also surprised here that I don't run into his top side. This stuff might be warded, but they're all dead again. So there are little, like, actual improvements I can make here in terms of where to be. Like, kind of what camp to go to first. What resource to go to first and to prioritize. In my head here, I'm actually thinking that red buff isn't up. So I don't actually know this is up, and this gets harder, like, throughout the game, right? So what I would be thinking here, I know for a fact, is just clear my top side into a base. Now, you might ask, well, Eagz, why don't you just recall after this fight here? Why not recall now? You know what I mean? You've got Cyclo Sword, you've got another long sword, I think, if you want it. Why not just recall now? The reason I'm not going to recall now is because, what am I recalling for? If you guys look at the minimap, can you tell me something that's spawning in 30 seconds? Just think about tempo as 30 seconds, right? If you're going to run somewhere by staying on the minimap, like I did for my top camps, right, at level 3, 4, it's going to take me like 30 seconds, and I did red buff as well, right? Which is why I should just run a Grom straight away at level 3, 4. But you have to be doing it for something. So if you're going to recall or stay on the map for 30 seconds or run there, it has to be because something is spawning very, very soon. I look at this minimap and think it's very passive. I don't see anything that I'm recalling for. Am I going to recall for a tower? That's always going to be there. You know, like, we can get that whenever. Baron? Dragon? They might not be. A quadrant? Let's just say that I saw Lee Sin's bot side spawning. Let's just say that we have vision there randomly, and I know his blue buff is up in 20 seconds. I could easily consider just recalling and running there and trying to kill someone again. But I don't have ultimate. My team is on gold. And unless you're playing in, I'd even say, like, high challenger there, where people are pinging it as well, and all of you are on the same page, it's very difficult to, like, kind of execute that, unless you know, again, for a fact you can just one-shot someone. But when I don't have my ultimate, think about it. Am I active or passive if I don't have my R? I'm passive. I'm quite passive. Well, quite passive, because I'm so fed, right? So maybe I don't even need my ultimate to one-shot someone. If they walk into a box, I'll just kill them anyway. But without my ultimate, it's a little bit different, right? With my ultimate, oh my god, like, I'd probably recall here if his blue buff was spawning in 20 seconds and just wait in the brush and kill someone. And then we get towers, and then we accelerate the game. But because I don't have my ultimate here, which would be the same for players I've coached in, God, like Master Relo, I don't know how many of them, if they're playing champs, especially like Rengar, who would actually just try to make plays without their ult. It's very standard here. You can just clear camps and just base according to your ultimate. So when there's no actual like kind of river resource, I would put, or jungle quadrant you're playing for, as you can see here, perfect example here. And remember, I don't know if his red buff is up or not. So because I don't think there's a jungle quadrant I can run at, and because there isn't a river objective, like Dragon isn't going to spawn for, you know, at least a minute or two or something, at least that. Baron isn't going to spawn for 4 minutes. So the map, in terms of resources, is kind of passive. So therefore, when I look at my ultimate, that's kind of like the tempo I'm playing there. 1 minute, 7 seconds. 1 minute, 7 seconds? And if it takes me 30 seconds to recall, 8 seconds, and then to run to the middle of the map where the enemy champions are going to be, I kind of want to be recalling ideally around like 25 seconds, 30 seconds on my ultimate cooldown, because then if I run into enemy champions after recalling and running out of base, my ultimate's going to say like 1 second, or it's already come up. Like, beautiful. Perfect timing. I'm using as many ults in a game, and the enemy champions just aren't going to live with that, right? Like, the game's going to end very, very quickly here. So no resources on the minimap that I can see, and my ult is on cooldown. So all I'm going to do here is play these, and then I'm going to recall. Again, I can't remember this game, so I'm telling you as if like I've just played it, and most of the decisions, right, I can like tell. And some of the decisions I have got wrong like in this actual game. And I think they make a big difference as well, which is actually like good for me improving, I guess, even though I'm like 50 years old. Let's go. Add a base here. If you do Krugs, Red, and Raptors here, you are giga trolling. Think about what I just said. If you do Krugs, Red, and Raptors, which sound great. Wow, I'm doing 3 camps, let's go, I'm clearing my jungle. It's not really troll, don't get me wrong. And remember, I just think about decisions like this. There is an optimal decision to make at any time, and everything else is bad. So if I say troll, it might even be like arguably okay. But to me, it's troll. There has to be an optimal decision here. So for me out of base, when my ult is on a 10-second cooldown, don't care about level 12, right? I'm just thinking, will red buff give me level 12? It doesn't matter. You're going to one-shot someone or you're not. Look at my items. I'm going to one-shot someone. But red buff does kind of make a nice difference here. Yeah? So I'm thinking, right, I'm going to do red buff quickly. I'm going to drive by red. I'm going to do a little pit stop at red buff, and then I'm as strong as I could ever be. Who's going to die on that mid wave? Who's going to die on the top wave near their top tower, right? That's what I'm going to be thinking about here. If I spend time farming my camps in an active environment, look at my team. They've all recalled. They're all out on the map. Full HP, everyone. Full mana. Everyone is active here. If you farm your camps, it's because you do them in 1 second, so you don't lose any time, or it's because you're just trolling. If I'm playing as Lee Sin here or the enemy champions, I'm going to be scared of Shaco hitting me on waves. I'm going to be scared to move out to that side lane. I'm going to be scared to even run up here because Shaco might be behind me. So if you're farming your camps, it's not a Shaco thing either. If you're farming your camps here when your team is this active and you are this far ahead, you are honestly just going to miss so much time. Like I've already proven to you, by the way, with me doing Crab instead of Rift Herald or his top side. Like, it's huge for a game, right? You can just end games so quick when your mindset is like this. Unfortunately, I kind of missed those 2 moves in this game. But even see here, I could farm... Oh my god, oh bro, I was so sure. Bro, I was so sure about this. But I should definitely be going mid lane after this. You can also see how there's a wave here. So because there is a fresh wave mid, I honestly think I've probably gotten better even like 2 days ago. Because I swear I wouldn't do this, bro. Oh, chat. Oh, I've said chat as if I'm streaming. Patrons, YouTubers, I'm so sorry. But hopefully it makes sense to you like it does for me here, that after red buff, I should just run somewhere. Like, it doesn't really matter where. The only camp that I should do here, by the way, remember, active environment. So if you do a camp, it's almost like on the way to your destination, right? And we've established that this side of the minimap, because that tower is where we want to play here. There's no dragon, like in the foreseeable future. I don't think so anyway. And Baron isn't up for 3 minutes. So in terms of playing the map, you literally just play towers. So if I was going to do any other camp bot side apart from red buff, it should be Raptors and then we go here. Krugs they are not consequential. Raptors aren't either, but it's like I just do them so quick, so why not? Like 3 seconds, who cares? Let's go. So a little bit of a misread by me as well. A little bit slow, mate. A little bit too passive. But we get like 3 kills for it, 4 kills maybe. So it's still okay. So you see like how we still easily win this fight, even with like 2 or 3 of us. But that should have happened like before. Yeah.